Good day everybody, welcome to today's video. In today's video we're going to look at the Yeswelder Cut 55 DS plasma cutter that was sent to me to do a review on and give my honest opinion on. And I'm going to tell you right now, from fresh out of the box, without even really playing around with it, I'm actually pretty impressed. We're going to go to those clips right away. But first, let's have a look on what comes inside the box. And that's the connector to run 110 or 220. There's a little bit of assembly, but not too much. The airline fitting that connects my airline, I had to supply that myself. The quick connect on the other side came with the kit. There's actually two of those quick connects that came in, but I only needed to use one. Put the fittings in, tighten them up. Now, the plasma cutter at the back actually has a special spot where the air filter will sit, and just use that bracket. Mount it up, put your air filter in, then run your hose, which they supplied is the clear hose. Using the quick connect and then getting the bend and how it's going to fit without being kinked, cut it, and then push it on. It's going to be a little bit of a tight struggle, but it'll go. Connect all your cables. You really can't screw it up because there is only four, and each has their own spot. And there we are, completely connected, ready to go. All set up in the back. Hit the power switch. See if let any smoke out of the wires, but no, we're good. So that button right there controls your airflow. When you press it, it'll start purging air. Then you can set your pressure. And then the top is for 2T or 4T, which is hold the trigger and cut. The other mode is squeeze the trigger, and then it'll keep cutting till you hit the trigger again. Now we need to fill the air compressor up full of air and purge the line, set the pressure. I just have a little small piece right now that I'm going to set up to gonna run, I don't know, 19 amps, and just cut it. This is the first cut with the plasma cutter. For this next test, we're gonna cut some dirty, uncleaned 1/4-inch angle iron. Once again, this is fresh out of the box. Using it, I haven't had time to figure out what air pressure works good, what amperage works good. I'm just going by guessing and seeing how it's going to play out. Did actually do a pretty good job. I'd already plasma cutted that piece, so I should have grinded the ends off and it would have cut smoother. So this next test, even though it's not a true 1/2 inch solid piece of metal, I put 2 1/4 inch pieces together to get a 1/2 inch. We're gonna see if the plasma cutter is gonna cut it. Put it up to 40 amps, readjusted the air pressure, and now I'm gonna cut it. That second piece of metal kind of hung up at the end there, but nonetheless, it still cut it. So I'm going to make some quick adjustments to the plasma cutter, and we're going to cut another chunk and see how it's going to play out. So as you just seen with the quick adjustment, the second piece came off way easier. All in all, I'm pretty impressed with the plasma cutter. There was a couple of things that I found. One could have been damaged in shipping, and that was the ceramic cut. I noticed that after I'd used it for a little bit, that it was piece had broken off. I don't know if it was like that before because I didn't really pay too much attention. And the other thing that I found was an electrical connection for the trigger that went inside the plasma cutter. It looks like they doubled it up with another piece of wire, and I figured they probably could have done something a little better there. I do like the idea that you can press the button and it flows air so you can adjust your air pressure that way. I think that was actually really smart. Does come with a decent sized ground clamp as well. The one thing I did find is a little bit awkward, and I understand that it is a safety feature and it needs to be there for that reason of safety, was the trigger. I found the trigger was a little awkward to use. If you're looking for a budget plasma cutter, now even though I didn't cut a true 1/2 inch piece of steel because I put 2 1/4 inch pieces together, it still cut it nonetheless. For me at home in my garage, am I going to be cutting 1/2 inch steel or bigger with a plasma cutter? Most likely not. Everything that I'm going to be using is going to be thin gauge up to around 1/4 inch. So I think the Yeswelder plasma cutter for home use will probably work out really good. Now I gave it a pretty good test. I was cutting a lot of metal and I did not hit the safety of the thermal overload on it. Give you guys one last go around with your air connection right there. When you're using a plasma cutter, you always want to make sure you got dry air coming in. Otherwise, you're going to burn your consumables up pretty quick. If I just got it wrapped up, I really like the idea with the gauge. Like I said before, press the button. And it's also got a protective cover, which is really nice. Protects the button and everything else from damage. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, post them below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.